Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. Hello, hello, hello. Nobody's watching guys. Welcome to my channel. We'll see what's there in the store today. No data. Data hey. Data hey, data hey, data hey. Data hey, data hey, data hey. Nobody's hearing this? Okay, well, first there is
In case
about
of emergency.
And displays.
33 minutes
What
to the
can Butch
launch.
and Sunny expect to see and
We are already
experience
in
aboard
the
Starliner for
crew.
their flight, and how does that compare to flying the space shuttle?
You'll see
Yeah,
about it.
I think
The mission details for me. Removing the child. Hey, Salman, who is that? Salman Khan, Namaste. Salman Bhai. Who is Salman Bhai? Salman. Okay, today it's launching in just 33 minutes. This is the collaboration between NASA and Boeing for now, but the launch vehicle is United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket. You see about the mission overview and the mission blog also you see. So mission overview when we go there. So this is the like they're already a private that is the SpaceX that is a flight test program, but this is again from other company Boeing. I think I had a streamed simple that was not a flight test. I don't remember if I had streamed or not, but it was just a flight test without the crew way back in 2021, I suppose. Okay, 2020, 2019, that's an about test only. Second right. First was like what do you say? Just crew. I mean, not crew, cargo. Uncrewed mission was in May 2022. I didn't stream that as so we'll see about the crew. The first crew will be the commander Butch Wilmore. He has already 178 days in space experience. He was the uh, s- pilot aboard the Space Shuttle Atlantis for the Space Shuttle Mission 129. And these are all. He was also in Expedition 41 and 42. He has a degree in electrical engineering. Nice. Okay. He was a Navy officer. I mean, Fleet Naval officer and aviator also. Next is Sunita Williams. She has a inheritance from India also. She already has 322 days in space across two missions, that is 14 and 15 expedition, and also like 50 hours and 40 minutes of space work. Thank you for the what Salman Khan. Namaste. Okay, this and all is the crew. I think we should be proud that Indian descent is about the flight now. Okay, this is the mission view. After like when it reaches the orbit, it will have a 24-hour journey to the space station and all. Before the docking, approach, rendezvous, and docking. These are the three steps. I hope they will be more on. Okay, we are still 30 minutes to the launch. Here they have the rocket, the Starliner. It's the fuel is being loaded or something is happening. Okay. This okay. This is the orbital flight test 2 which was conducted in May 2022. It's certified for long duration missions beginning with 2025. Okay. We'll see about the accent. We'll open docking. Why is it? Hmm. We'll open on the 4th of Eastern. Okay, we'll go. Downloads. Listen and downloads. Systems. If anyone is there, please put a hi by. See launch. Okay. First is launch. Here is one. Fueling that and all hatch close. That is no more entry. Then cabin leak checks and all that they will do right now. And the arm retraction that happens here. That means okay. Running is done. Then lift off. Then it will have a dynamic pressure max before reaching the orbit. Then the boosters will eject. Then the second stage, booster engine cutoff and separation that will happen here. Then the ascent cover will jettison. That's air, extra cover. And the center second stage that will ignite. There will be aeroskirts here. Then that will provide, this will provide security. Thank you, but may I know the original name of Salman Khan? Main engine cutoff, then spacer mission and orbital insertion. That's the final. Then we have to do okay docking. So it's what do you say? It's in the orbit. This is the space station. It will have some keep out fuel. Matlab, nothing should go inside this ring. They will have some range. Then it will have some series of burns, obviously. Then it will enter in that's the same straight line as the docking port over here. Or they are like first is the height adjustment and plane change both. Second is also the same. Third is the elliptic. It was like moving like this. Now it will elliptic also for elliptic change it will do. Then fourth is this approach ellipse. Matlab, uh, if something happens, at least it can revolve around like this around the what is it? ISS. Flybound it will do some flybound upon, and then this the corridor approach. What I said, it will try to be in the same straight line as the docking port. Then the eighth is around 250 meter, 200 meter. Then it will come almost okay. This is 250. This is 200 meter. This is just 10 meter. It will see vary its attitude and then it will dock. Next is undocking, obviously. Same ulta. It will go till here. Ulta approach ellipsoid के बाद then it will come here. This something what is service model will eject. Then Q model will enter. Landing. Obviously all the parachute deployments. Here this is the recovery. If anyone is there, please put a hi by anything. We will go to the stream in 10 minutes. Any questions? I'll try to answer or else I'll ask Google. That's all I got about share all the photos and the what is it, testings and everything. We go to mission.
Measures 16.5 feet tall with a diameter of 15 feet. That's about the size of a mid-size SUV. It
And
was
then view
designed to
the
carry up to
cracks.
7 astronauts or a mix of crew and
7
cargo for
astronauts,
missions to the
tela for a
International
reason.
Space Station. After today's test
Tela for
flight,
a
NASA
reason.
will fly crews of 4 or 5 with cargo. And Starliner is also reusable
25
up
minutes to
to
the
10
launch.
times.
I think I'm
Yeah,
not
we're
late.
looking
LCOSM.
to getting.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Step 60 flight hazard area has been cleared. All personnel accounted for. Roger.
All right, everybody is in place for launch. Starliner, we're looking forward to getting it certified so we can continue our missions to the International Space Station with 4 NASA astronauts. And Boeing will have the option to use Starliner to fly to other space stations and to help build the low Earth economy, low Earth orbit economy.
Hey, Mike, let's squeeze in a social question since we've invited viewers to send them to us. This is from John on YouTube asking, how did the astronaut train for this mission? It's actually a question from a 10-year-old named Maddie.
Well, hi, Maddie. Hi, John. Yeah, so we spend a lot of time practicing exactly what's going on today. We sit inside a simulator, which looks and feels like a rocket, and we push all the buttons and switches and look at our data. And sometimes they even give us these things called malfunctions, which something goes wrong, and we have to think our way through it and follow our procedures to have a safe practice mission. And we do that for about a year and a half. In this case, for us, it's a new spacecraft, so it took us 5 years, but it takes us about a year and a half to train for new spacecraft.
Roger. Please disable line item 390.
Active.
Again, some nominal call-outs there as we march towards our instantaneous launch opportunity at 12:25 and 40 seconds.
It's really neat that we're hearing all the voice chatter back and forth from our team. I mean, what a nice thing to be able to share with everybody watching today.
Flight control final press complete and Atlas hydraulics at standby pressure.
Roger.
And with that, let's head back over.
Go ahead.
Line item 390 has been disabled.
Roger.
Let's head back over to ULA's Dylan Rice and Boeing's Lauren Brennicke from the ASOC.
Thank you, Megan. So you may have heard just a few minutes ago the team talking about they're actually telling Butch and Suni once they get up into space that they will need to sync their tablet. Wanted to give a little bit of a perspective on that. Basically, it's just the system clock in that tablet. You could think of it as it's just like going down to the start menu on Windows and syncing up the clock. It's been, of course, turned off for a little bit, and not connected to internet. So it's just something like you would do at home to re-establish the new time on your microwave. But Dylan, they've also heard about an anomaly on the ULA side. Not a big deal, but let's give them a little bit of perspective on that.
Sure, Lauren. So we had, we did hear a report of a noisy temperature measurement, and this particular measurement is the interstage adapter, but so that's the adapter between Atlas and Centaur. And this measurement is something that's automatically disabled when we enter our terminal count at T-minus 4 minutes. But over the past few minutes, we've observed this measurement bouncing around a little bit. So now that the vehicle is fully loaded with propellants and we've been stable for quite a while, this measurement is really not something that we rely heavily on when we're fully tanked and stable. So we're going to go ahead and disable it early rather than waiting for the automatic disable as we approach terminal count. And that just would prevent any what we'd consider to be a nuisance alarm at this point. So nothing major there. It's kind of a standard operating procedure for a noisy measurement like this.
And we are just a little over 21 minutes out from launch.
Logo suppressor charge is complete.
Roger.
As I was saying, just a little over right now, about 21 minutes out from launch. And I've been thinking a lot about Butch and Suni going back to the ISS for a third time for both of them. Suni told us that really the ISS feels like home for them. If you think about it, they've both spent a good portion of time there. They both spent 6 months in their first trip up and 6 months in their second trip up. So now going back for their third time, they're going to a place that they consider home. If you think about living somewhere for literally a year out of your life, it means a lot to you. It's very special. And Suni even told us that.
Go ahead.
Step 90, all secondary decoms verified on RF link.
Roger.
And Suni even told us that she cried the last time she left the ISS because she thought it would be her last time in space. So you can just imagine how special this trip will be for both her and Butch. And we are getting very close now to that moment where they are going to be headed to space. We are coming up on a call for the visors to come down. We're going to hear Capcom tell the crew to pull their visors down and to configure their suit flow.
L-minus 20 minutes.
Starliner, there's
P1, reinitiate AHV charging.
Configure suit flow.
RLM, verify redline monitor and event table are in the correct configuration for terminal count.
Verified.
RC, verify solar radiation acceptable for launch.
Verified.
All right, so you saw the crew starting to pull their visors down there. That configuration is needed for proper airflow through their suit. In case of an emergency, they could pressurize their suits quickly if needed. That is the importance of having everything zipped up and ready to go. And they really enjoy the fact that these helmets are much easier to get on. They just sit back on their suits, just like a hoodie of a sweatshirt, so they're able just to pull them forward and zip them up.
Houston, Starliner, visor config complete.
Houston copies, visor config complete.
All right, they're all zipped up. And this config
All
also
communications switch to channel 1. All personnel and visitors remain in present position until launch. Maintain operational silence in the LCC.
So, Lauren, that's kind of
the LC with a terminal count briefing. If a condition exceeds the launch constraint anytime after the terminal count status check, the observer shall announce hold, hold, hold on channel 1, identify their station, and briefly state the reason for the hold.
So, Lauren, we just heard a couple of our standard pre-launch announcements. During the countdown, the individual teams, so think of the Atlas propulsion team and the Centaur propulsion team, are off working on separate nets as they perform their functions. All that work is complete, and so essentially what that last announcement does is bring the entire team back to the primary command channel, net 1, loop 1 as we call it, and the rest of the countdown will now be conducted on net 1,
Roger.
And we'll all kind of hear that together.
18 minutes.
Also, at this point, our operators are going to be heads down.
Verification.
Roger.
And so the only conversation in the LCC from this point forward is just going to be the working through the launch procedures. There'll be no other ancillary conversation whatsoever.
And we'll also be listening to some of those side channels that aren't public on your TV screen right now. So we'll be listening for a few polls, one that's called the Starliner Readiness Poll for terminal count. And that is one of the shorter polls, and it will be coming from the Boeing Mission Control Center, or we call it the BMCC here in Florida. The spacecraft launch conductor, Brian Gardner, will poll people in that room in charge of the propulsion system and power and many other subsystems. He will have 3 call-outs to him.
L-minus 17 minutes. OSM, place SRB ignition SNA switch to the enable position.
SRB ignition enabled.
And verify FCO, RCO, and OSM hold fire switches are in the proceed position.
Ready to proceed.
Launch on time verified.
Roger.
And
LCP-1.
Go ahead.
AHB charging reestablished and at flight mass.
Roger.
So, Lauren, we're quickly coming to the end now of the launch vehicle pre-launch procedure, and we're just about 7 minutes away from our terminal count status check. But we heard a couple of call-outs there. That one of the range safety representatives activated the SRB ignition enable, so that allows us to fire the SRB ordnance circuits that ignite the SRBs at T0. Those circuits are not enabled till just as we heard, just a few moments ago.
L-minus 16 minutes.
And also another range safety system is the hold fire system. So there are remote switches at the Space Launch Delta 45 Morel Operations Center up the road. And if any of the range safety representatives see an issue, they can press a button and stop our countdown remotely. So those switches have been enabled as well.
All right, you are taking a live look at Atlas V and Starliner stacked on top with astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams inside, ready to go to space. We are just coming up on about 15 minutes from launch, and we are going to send it over to NASA's Daryl Nell at Hangar AE. Daryl.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And you've heard the polls from ULA, also polling a go. The NASA operations manager, Richard Jones, checked with his team, gave them the go. As far as weather is concerned, you heard it mentioned on the nets, there was an L-30 weather brief.
We see your CM essential. That's just to do with the internal power transition. No action.
Okay, no action. We got the suit fan DP low. It's back on now.
Looking.
No issue there. But again, the weather, 90% go. No concern. We're expected to be go for T0. We are go right now. Green across the board. We do have some high cirrus clouds that you can see there up in the upper parts of the sky. And you can see the ground winds.
LC flight, channel 1 and air to ground 1 are now merged, going to air to ground 1.
Roger.
LC flight, air to ground 1, ready for comm check with Starliner and channel 1.
Roger. Starliner, LC, comm check on channel 1.
LC, we got you loud and clear. Looks like we got suit fan, all suit fans failed.
Nobody's watching. Nice.
Butch Wilmore.
And I copied your comm check, Starliner. In Capcom, did you catch that message?
And Starliner and LC Capcom A-firm, we see the messages. We're working more to follow. Stand by.
Standing by.
Butch Wilmore has a warning light on his console. He's talking it over with Capcom. While they do that,
Starliner, visors open, please, while we work the suit fans. Visors open.
so they're going to have the astronauts open their visors.
All right, visors are open.
While they work into issue with them.
Houston, but suit fan Bravo went down and switched to Alpha. It had a DP low, and then it, of course, went off. We still show power to Alpha is on.
Working an issue with
Houston
the suit.
copies.
Oh, minus 13 minutes.
And Starliner, we showed the same for your info. We're swapping suit fans back to Bravo. Continue to stand by for us.
Standing by.
Is standing? No. It's not showing.
So the issue here is a problem with the primary suit fan operation. They got to have that suit fan to keep the air circulating inside their suits. With that having a warning, they've asked, Capcom has asked the astronauts to pop open their visors so they can get some fresh air, and they'll work it into a redundant mode, going into a redundant suit fan. So they continue to work that. As we get under T-minus 12 minutes and counting. The Boeing team working an issue in real time right now.
LC flight channel 1.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the condition we're in an LTT condition with both suit fans down. We're trying to get these reactivated, but we're going to proceed.
Roger. So good to stow the crew access arm.
I'm good.
Roger.
All right, the team continuing to work the suit fan issue. Again, just to recap on weather, we're go. And now we're looking to take the next steps. So we'll send it back to Megan, Mike, and Dee.
Minus 11 minutes.
As you just heard there, 11 minutes to liftoff.
Roger.
From only the 6th-time NASA astronauts will launch on a new spacecraft designed for crew. I want to ask you really quick before we toss it over for that terminal count, the final moments of the countdown. How are you guys feeling?
Feeling great, excited, making sure teams work to troubleshoot the last little bit, and hopefully we'll see liftoff today.
I'm very excited for Butch and Sunny, and as we like to say, go Atlas, go Centaur, go Starliner.
Go Butch and Sunny, that's right. All right, so let's send it over to the ASOC where Lauren and Dylan will walk us through the final moments of the countdown.
All right, thank you, Megan. So what we are looking for next here is that crew access arm to start making its way back over.
Starliner, on our end, we brought suit fan Bravo back on. It looked good. We need both. We need to prove that A is also there, so we're commanding Alpha
The crew
on
arm is
and then off
retracted.
at this time. More to follow.
All right.
Yep, we see it. And we're still visors up, so you know. All right.
So you hear this troubleshooting happening in real time. They are moving forward with everything else while they troubleshoot
Flight
that
verify CST
suit
100
fan.
on internal power.
Verified.
Starliner, configure ordnance for launch.
That's in work.
Starliner on internal power now. The spacecraft is running completely on its own. Ordnance has also been configured for launch. That means the devices that initiate our separation events.
Yeah, we reactivated suit fan Bravo. Suit fan Alpha is also working, so we cleared our LCC condition. And for the crew, you can take visors down.
Visors down and ordnance configured.
LC copies both.
All right, it's got to feel good to put those visors down now.
So Lauren, we were seeing that big visual cue, the crew access arm retracting. It takes about 2 minutes to retract and stow 120 degrees away from Starliner back against the crew access tower. In the event of an emergency, it can be redeployed in less than 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We don't want to see it do that, but we're glad it can if it needs to. And we have a couple of polls coming up here in about 2 minutes. The launch vehicle poll, launch vehicle management poll.
Yeah, Lauren, that's right at L-8 minutes. Next door to us in the Mission Director Center, that's going to be the mission management team poll for launch. And at L-7 minutes, the final terminal count status check down in the LCC. And that is where Chief Launch Conductor Doug Lebo will poll his team, verify their readiness, and then the launch director next door to us will give him permission to launch today.
LC arm control.
Go ahead.
Crew access arm stowed for launch.
Roger.
All right, the crew access arm is stowed.
LC switch to ready position.
Everything looking good?
All steps are complete prior to status check.
And Dylan and I will be a little more quiet as we get closer here to launch so we can listen into all of the actions as they're happening in real time. Again, just under 7.5 minutes till Starliner astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams make history as the first crew headed to the International Space Station on Boeing Starliner.
10 minutes for the launch.
Status check to proceed with terminal count, Atlas system, propulsion,
Go.
hydraulics,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
water,
Go.
Centaur systems, propulsion,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
LH2,
Go.
has gas,
Go.
electrical systems, airborne,
Go.
ground,
Go.
facility,
Go.
RFFTS,
Go.
flight control,
Go.
GCQ,
Go.
op support,
Go.
comm,
Go.
umbilicals,
Go.
arm control,
Go.
ECS,
Go.
redline monitor,
Go.
quality,
Go.
op safety manager,
Go.
ULA safety officer,
Go.
vehicle system engineer,
Go.
anomaly chief,
Go.
range coordinator,
Clear to proceed.
flight director,
Houston flight is go.
Starliner,
Starliner, go.
launch director,
You have permission to launch.
proceeding
Okay,
with
we're
the
launching
count.
today.
ALC, verify T0 is set
6 minutes
for
for the launch. Come
16,
on.
colon 25, colon 40 Zulu.
Verified.
Starliner net is clear.
Thank you, LC. To all of you sitting on console, whether you're in Houston, BMCC, ASOC, Atlas, this is a great day to be proud of your nation. And all of you listening as well, whether you're at Banana Creek or the Causeway or the rooftop of LCC or the ASOC, and other places around our nation, like the Bay Area building and other places where you are viewing what's taking place. Again, for you, it's a great day to be proud of your nation, great day to be proud of Boeing, great day to be proud of UOA and NASA. And we are one nation under God, indivisible. And when we together use the power of that combination, we can do some pretty amazing things. So LC, with that, we are ready to put some fire in this rocket and propel this spacecraft to the International Space Station, where all these fine Americans have designed
No.
and have prepared it to be. Calypso, take up. To put some fire in this rocket and propel this spacecraft to the International Space Station, where all these fine Americans.
Roger, Starliner.
LC flight, Starliner configured for terminal count.
Roger. All steps are complete prior to terminal count.
And with that, we are ready to go to space, Lauren.
Hard not to be emotional listening to those words from Butch. I'm sure we'll be playing that speech back for a long time.
T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
4 minutes
3,
to the launch.
2, 1, mark. 3:55.
Ground pyros enabled.
Launch pad ordnance circuits are now enabled.
Hold. Flight control receipt to CCLS, hold it. Approximately T-minus 350.
LC switch not ready. All personnel turn to recycle section. Operation 80. LC switch is not ready. Clock stopped at T-minus 3 minutes 50 seconds.
There's some problem with
Starliner, you should not hear any vent at this point.
Starliner standing by.
It is over. 1 second.
ALC reset countdown clock to T-minus 4 minutes and holding. Active.
4 minutes and holding. It is over.
LC Peony 2.
Go ahead.
Centaur tank pressures are stable.
Roger.
LC Peony 1.
Go ahead.
Atlas tank pressures are stable.
Roger. OSM, place SRB ignition SNA switch to disabled position.
SRB ignition disabled.
Okay, consoles, step 60, report launch vehicle status. Atlas lead.
Atlas tank pressures and helium bottles stable. Atlas propulsion system stable.
Roger. Centaur lead.
Centaur tank pressures and helium bottles stable. Centaur propulsion
What
system
the bird
stable.
is doing? What is
Has gas readings nominal.
Roger. Vehicle electrical. VE channel 1.
Avionics system stable.
Roger. And LC can verify no indications of hazards. Flight LC.
LC Starliner systems are stable.
Roger. Starliner, last arm switch to off.
Last arm switches off.
FCS in pre-flight mode, SS VAPs inactive, OCU safe, and EDS in test mode.
Roger. Arm control, deploy the crew access arm.
Roger.
Starliner, proceed with ordnance deactivation.
Action 1. Ordnance deconfigured. All off.
Roger.
The launch is called off.
Go ahead, ALC.
Countdown clock is reset, T-minus 4 minutes and holding.
Roger. Flight, verify CST 100 ordnance is safe.
Verified.
Okay, all stations, recycle systems back to T-minus 4 and holding configuration. Hold time occurred at T-minus 3 minutes 50 seconds. Report status at completion. And flight LC.
LC.
CST 100 power to external.
Copy. We'll put it in order.
LC Loxon.
Go ahead.
Subset Bravo, Atlas LO2, continuing topping.
Roger.
LC Lux 2.
Go ahead.
Substep Golf, Centaur LO2, continuing topic.
Roger.
LC Field 2.
Go ahead.
Centaur LH2, continuing topping.
Roger.
LC Peony 1.
Go ahead, Peony 1.
Atlas Pneumatics, pressure stable.
Roger.
LC Peony 2.
Go ahead.
Substep Echo CEC active.
Roger.
And substep Foxtrot sensor pneumatic system stable.
Roger.
LC Prop 1.
Go ahead.
Substep Charlie and substep Delta, Atlas propulsion and hydraulic system stable.
Roger.
LC ECS.
Go ahead.
Substep November ECS set point stable.
Roger.
LC, this flight control.
Go ahead.
Subset Kilo, flight control ready.
Roger.
If you're just joining us here at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station,
Go ahead.
True axis arm is deployed.
Roger.
we did have a automatic hold of our ground launch sequencer shortly after we began our terminal count for today's launch attempt. No indication yet as to what caused that hold of the automatic ground launch sequencer. The team is still evaluating data. In the meantime, the team is active recycling the vehicle to a good holding state so that we can prepare for our next steps. But for now,
Roger.
We are holding at T-minus 4 minutes, recycling the vehicle after a hold of our ground launch sequencer shortly after picking up terminal count for today's launch opportunity.
LC has gas. Go has gas. Substep Hotel has gas. Normal scan pattern including cap. Roger.
flight, LC. Channel 1.
Flight. Yeah.
Roger. Secure CST-100 prop system. Last valve to remain open.
Flight copies. Probably take us at least 5 minutes here.
Yeah, copy.
We're going to send it over to NASA's Daryl Nail over at Hangar AE for some continuing coverage of our current
FTS,
status.
LC.
Daryl?
Thanks, Dylan. And I'm listening to the NASA operations manager's loop.
Recycle status.
Recycle.
Roger. SYS, LC.
Yes, LC, GC30 is ready.
Roger.
As you mentioned, the ULA team now safing the vehicle, making sure all the high energy systems that were prepared to launch are now put into a safe configuration. At 12:21 p.m., roughly T-minus 3 minutes and 39 seconds, we got a hold.
Launch Director, LC, Channel 1.
LDM1.
Yes, sir. So we had a hold call at T-minus 3 minutes and 50 seconds by the CCLS launch sequencer. So at this time, we've completed our recycle back to T-minus 4 and holding configuration and ready to proceed with a scrub crew egress operation.
Yeah, roger that. Stand by.
Roger.
There you heard confirmation of the scrub call for this launch attempt today.
The launch is scrub, okay.
Again, this was the ground launch sequencer, essentially the computer that launches.
LC.
Roger.
This is the computer that is
okay,
charged.
All personnel going to Operation 85. OSM, LC.
OSM.
Establish the BDA roadblocks and open the flight hazard area.
Roger.
And all personnel on Channel 1 will be starting an approximate 65-minute hold at this time for flight crew egress. All systems maintain T-minus 4 and holding configuration.
We will stop this thing for now. The network is not good.
The hold time is not relevant at this point. The fact is they're getting it into a state where they can go through and get the crew out of the spacecraft. But I was mentioning the computer. This is the computer that when we go into terminal count, launches the rocket, brings a number of systems and a huge number of operations all at a rapid pace. Something with the GLS, it's not understood at this time what it is, caused the GLS to throw an automatic holdout at T-minus 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Arm control.
Yeah, per step 40, can you give me that call out on the status of the crew access arm?
Crew access arm.
Launch is scrub. Okay, thank you for viewing. 23 seconds. Okay. That's it for today. Bye.